This book is Happy Easter, Curious George. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. He lived with his friend, the man with the yellow hat. Today, George and the man were going to the park as a special treat. George was curious at the moment they got to the park. It was Easter, and the park was full of people. There were so many bright colors and many things for a little monkey to do. Children were flying kites high in the sky and decorating Easter baskets. They were even having races rolling eggs. Then George saw a small coral with a sign on it. What could be inside? A soft white bunny. He patted the bunny and fed it a carrot. But what was this? People were dyeing Easter eggs yellow and blue and pink. George was curious. He had never dyed an egg before. George dyed an egg yellow. Then George had an idea. With yellow and red, he made orange. With yellow and blue, he made green. And with red and blue, he made purple.
Wow!
He dyed eggs as only a monkey can, 4 at a time. Then he painted the eggs with swirls, with polka dots, and with stars. They looked like brightly colored balls. George could not resist. He even juggled them. "Oh no!" shouted a woman. "The Easter bunny's gone!" But George didn't notice, because just then he saw a man losing one egg, then another, then even more eggs. In an instant, George grabbed the basket and began to help the man find them. George found the eggs here and he found eggs there. He had almost collected them all when a boy said, "Hey, that monkey's taking the Easter eggs. Stop, thief!" George was so busy that he did not even hear him. Then he saw another egg, a white egg under some bushes, perfect for dyeing. It wasn't an egg at all. It was a bunny's tail. How surprised George was. He patted the bunny and placed it in his basket on top of the eggs. "Hey, that monkey found the Easter bunny," said a girl. "Hurrah!" cried a boy. Everyone congratulated George. "Now that the Easter bunny is safe and sound, George," said the man with the yellow hat, "can you hide all of the eggs you gathered so the children can find them?" For this job, he was lucky to be a monkey. George hid the eggs in all the places a curious monkey would. It was the best egg hunt ever. After the hunt, George and the man with the yellow hat waved goodbye to their new friends. As George and his friends drove away, the children waved back, calling out, "Happy Easter, George!" The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where George was mixing the colors to make different colors for his eggs. I hope you like the story. This book is Peppa and George Love Easter. It is Easter morning. Time to dye the eggs, yells Peppa.
Yay!
She and George sit down at the kitchen table with Mummy and Daddy Pig. They take turns dipping eggs into bright colors. Peppa dyes her eggs in the color of a rainbow. George adds spots to make his look like a dinosaur egg. Roar, he growls. If you dyed Easter egg, what color would you do it? I would make it pink with purple and yellow stripes. What would you do? The doorbell rings. That must be Granny and Grandpa Pig, says Daddy Pig. Peppa and George run to the front door to give their grandparents hugs. We're here for the egg hunt, Granny Pig explains. Hooray! Cheers Peppa. The egg hunt is her favorite part of recess. Easter. Mummy Pig carries the basket of eggs outside. We will hide the eggs all over the garden, she says. Peppa and George cover their eyes while the eggs are hidden. It's hard not to peek, so Granny and Grandpa Pig offer to help. Peppa giggles and squirms with excitement. Ready, set, go! Daddy Pig shouts. Peppa's off in an instant. She quickly noticed something unusual in the clover patch. It is a bright green egg.
Oh!
George is looking around too, but instead of an egg, he finds a dragonfly buzzing along in a zigzag pattern. Peppa skips to the garden. She finds a lovely pink egg hidden among the tulips. I found another one, Mummy, she squeals. George races after Peppa. He spots a butterfly in the garden and watches it flutter along. The butterfly lands on a purple egg near Peppa's feet. She puts the egg in her basket. Hey, what other eggs do you see? I see a polka dot one in a tree branch and the rainbow one that Peppa was holding earlier is behind the bush. Let's check it out if they find them. And if they do, we're going to tell them that we found them first. Peppa checks inside each flower pot. In the last one, he finds a bright orange egg. George keeps searching. He turns over a watering can, but all he finds inside is water. Peppa's still on the hunt. She looks behind a pile of rocks and finds a smooth red egg. George picks up something too, but it's not an egg. It's a friendly inchworm going about its day. Peppa and George look by their toys next. Peppa sees something shining in the corner. In her container of chalk, it's a bright blue egg. George has still not found any eggs. Peppa wants to help. Try the basket, George, Peppa suggests, pointing to her bicycle. George looks in the bicycle basket, but it is empty. George frowns. The hunt is almost over, and he has not had any luck. Peppa has an idea. She asks Daddy Pig to lift George so he can see the whole garden. George sees a lot of eggs in the tree, but they're not the kind he's looking for. Daddy Pig gently places George back on the ground. Crack! George has found an egg. He claps his hands. Everyone laughs, including George.
Yay!
Peppa knows something else that'll make George laugh. She brings him over to the watering can, where the ground is now slippery and wet. It's the perfect muddy puddle. Peppa and George have fun as they splash and splish. Happy Easter! What egg do you think was the hardest they had to find? I think it's the orange egg that they found inside the flower pot. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where George turns over the watering can and all that comes out is water.